I was broke for the first part of my life. I'm going to say right around 38, 39 years. If you've ever been broke in your life, you know it is not fun. I was broke for the first part of my life. You say first part, how long is a part? It depends on your life. So I was broke for the first part of my life. I'm going to say right around 38, 39 years. And then I got kind of rich that I thought was really big rich. And I overextended myself too soon, and I expanded my lifestyles too soon. And I say too soon, but it was really more at the wrong time, right? I expanded my lifestyle at the wrong time, and because when I expanded my lifestyle, it wasn't too soon for the past, but it was way too soon for the future. And so we went from broke to rich to broker than broke. And here's what I mean by broker than broke. If you can imagine going from just regular broke people broke, I wasn't pitiful poor most of that time. Like pitiful poor is when you're so poor, poor people feel sorry for you. I've been there, right? I've been married with a pregnant wife and no electricity and no water at my house. So I've been pitiful poor. But this is not what I'm talking about. Then I was just regular poor. Do I pay my electric bill or my water bill this month, right? Or do I pay my insurance? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Do I pay the ticket for getting pulled over for having a car that the registration's expired on, or do I pay for the registration? I'll take my chances on getting pulled over. Okay, y'all just want to make sure I understand. I was that dude, right? I lived there, and that was just like regular people broke, and then I got rich to the point where I was making, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, sometimes 100,000 a month. And then got to the point where I was fairly consistently making over 100,000 a month. But then I expanded my lifestyle and bought my dream cars and my dream house and I was living my dreams until it turned into a nightmare. And then they created the Great Recession. And then clients who owed me a lot of money disappeared. And then I got audited by the IRS. And they told me I owed them $1,065,000. I didn't have $1,000,000 or 65,000, right? So I was broker than broke. I was over $1,000,000 in the hole from 2010 through 2015, and then started climbing out of the hole in 2015. So, and I'm telling you this story because I have discovered some ways that you can never be broke again. Let's say you don't ever become wealthy. Let's say you don't ever get rich. Wouldn't it be nice to just never be broke again? Never have a Motel 6 refrigerator again. Say, what's a Motel 6 refrigerator? We'll leave the light on for you. Open the refrigerator, only thing in there is a light, right? Okay, and and I've had a Motel 6 refrigerator with a family. It's not fun. Being broke is not fun. And so I said, okay, if I were going to teach people who are like maybe not on the struggle bus right now, but you're not getting ahead at all, and like it'll only take one thing going south, like car breaking down, refrigerator breaking down, somebody in your family getting sick. It'll only take one thing to like blow you out of the water financially. Like, how can you get to the point where you're never broke again? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you 3 things you can do to never be broke again.
Amen.
The first one is make money with offer strategies. When it comes to money, I believe in offers. By the way, everybody who makes money because of one of 2 things. Either an offer you've made or an offer you said yes to. Everybody makes money based on an offer that you presented or an offer that you accepted. Everybody. You say, what does that mean? No, Myron, I don't make an offer. You did. You went to, I didn't make an offer. I drive a truck. Right. You went to the trucking company and you said, I will drive your truck for X amount of dollars per hour or per mile. Right? If you work at a factory, you said, I will work for you for X amount of dollars per hour, X amount of dollars per month, X amount of dollars. You already made an offer. Everybody's making an offer. Here, this should encourage you. Hopefully this will encourage you. Let's say you have a job and you're making $60,000 a year. Okay, you have a job. You're making $60,000 a year. What if you just started thinking of your employer as your main client? So you got one client who's agreed to pay you $60,000 per year. Wow. If it doesn't do anything else, it should encourage you. Why? Because if you got one person that's paying you $60,000 a year, maybe you can get somebody else to pay you $6,000 for something that you can provide for them that they want more than they want the $6,000, just like you providing a result for your employer that they want more than they want the
Thank you.
$60,000. Or maybe you
Good
can say,
morning.
like, you can find maybe even fewer people, more
Thank you,
people
love.
who would be willing to pay you $600, right? What if you could create an offer for, you already
Count
created an offer
down
for
before
60,000. What if
New
you created an
Year.
offer for 6,000? What if you created an offer for 600? Say, well, I don't know what I'd offer somebody for 600. Okay, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Pump the brakes, baby. Pump the brakes. Let's do this instead. What if you said, I'm going to make an offer for $60? Surely you got somebody to pay you 60,000.
Right?
You can get somebody to pay you 60. What if you
$60.
got 100 people in 2025 to pay you $60? That's 6,000 extra dollars. Let me ask you a question. What could you do with 6,000 extra dollars right now?
A lot.
Right? What if you could get 100 people to pay you $600?
Yep.
In
600.
2025.
Take this
That's
money
an
lesson,
extra
guys. Take it.
$60,000. And you don't even have to
Oh,
jeopardize your
crap.
job. You can keep your job and make your $600 offer to people on the internet.
Yep.
Make your $60 offer to people on the internet. And so here's what I'm saying. You've already made an offer. They already said yes.
Yeah, they're following you.
You got somebody to say yes to your $60,000 offer. You say, man, I don't make $60,000, I make $45,000. Okay, you got somebody to accept your $45,000 offer. Man, I make $120,000. Great, you got somebody to accept your $120,000 offer. Like, if you stop thinking about it as, I found the best job I could for the money I could, and when I find a better one, I'm going to leave. Instead of that, thinking about, okay, this client that I have, they're paying me $60,000 a year. 45,000, 120,000, whatever the number is. They're paying me this amount of money. How can I serve them at such a high level that they never want me to stop delivering value and they never want to stop paying me? And if I do decide to leave or we decide to part ways, they will give me rave reviews. What if that were your thinking? Like, I had clients 5 years ago that are not my clients right now.
At a high level.
But if you talk to those clients, they will give you rave reviews. Oh, I see. What if you treated your employer like a client that you made an offer to and they said yes? Because they also made an offer to you and you said yes. Now, if you're having cognitive dissonance and you're like, I don't know if I should have said yes to that offer, then if you got this, if you have a pause in your spirit about the offer that you accepted and you feel like I just feel like I'm worth more than this, and I should be worth more to them, then you're not going to serve them at the highest level.
Everything is off.
Like, you have to build your business. And by the way, you are your business. You have to build your business in a way that gives you the energy to serve your client and or clients at the highest level. I mean, it gives you the ability, like, it serves you at the highest level. It gives you the energy and bandwidth to serve your clients at the highest level. So, like, if you have a job that you hate, reframe it and learn to love it.
You gotta learn to love the job you hate.
It means if you have a job that you hate, instead of thinking about, I hate this job so bad, think of it, I'm so thankful for this job because it's why I have electricity at my house. It's why I can cook food at my house. It's why I'm not hot in the summer and cold in the winter, because I have this job. And this client is paying me very well, and I'm going to take care of them. And then if I've got to go make some other offers to some other people on the interwebs, on eBay or on Facebook Marketplace or on my own website or on Instagram or wherever, then I'm going to do that. But in the meantime, in between time, I'm going to serve the clients I have. And every client that I have now and every client that I will ever have, I will serve them at such a high level that they will never want me to not, they will never not want to be my client again. And
That's
if I
right.
do decide that I don't want them as a client anymore, they'll give me rave reviews. Like, that's, what is that called? That's called ownership mentality.
Yep.
Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down?
Get the
And
ownership
so
mentality.
stop, even if you get paid by the hour, even if you're making minimum wage right now and you're like making 7-layer burritos at Taco Bell for minimum wage right now, instead of looking at, oh man, I'm just to get this dead end job, blah, blah, blah. It's a dead end job if you have a dead end perspective. But what if you showed up every day like you were the owner and the CEO of Taco Bell and you served the manager and the other employees and every customer that came through like they were essential to your livelihood instead of treating them like they're an inconvenience? How would that change the game for you? Sheesh. See, your biggest problem, one of the reasons poor people are poor is because they don't make money with offers. Even though they're making money with offers, they don't even know they're making money with offers.
True.
Here's what I mean. I'm going to go to the board, Michael. So, here's what I mean. Poor people and middle class people feel like everything is expensive because they pay for everything with money they exchange their
IOG,
life
welcome in.
for, or their time for. So they feel like they're paying for everything with their life. And you've seen me do this illustration before. So what you do is you say, hey, I've got this time. I'll sell you my time. By the way, you are the asset. I mean, you're the resource. Resource. You're the resource. God's the source. You're made in his image. You're the resource. Time is an asset.
Simon, welcome in.
It's a limited asset. What do I mean limited? You only have so much time. How much time do you have? 24 hours in a day. 60 minutes an hour. If you're really, really nice, if I'm really, really nice, will you let me have 70 minutes in an hour? No. Everybody gets 60.
Everybody gets
Doesn't matter how
60
tall you are, how
minutes.
short you are, how famous you are, how not famous. Everybody gets the same amount of time. You get 60 minutes in an hour. You get 24 hours
60
in a day.
minutes,
You get
24
365
hours.
days in a year.
Everybody
And so
get
what
the
you do
equal
is you
share.
trade, you say, I'm going to trade my time if you will give me money. Now, here's what most people believe. Most people believe that time is money. So I'll trade you my time if you'll give me some money. And then you trade that money and you go buy, and by the way, this is a depreciating asset. And so you go trade it.
Go buy a car.
Okay, so you trade it for a car, which is a depreciating liability. And so you wonder why you're getting broke. You're getting broker because you believe that time is money, and the only way to make money is to exchange your time for somebody else's money. So if you're trading this for this, you probably believe that this is equal to this, and time is the stuff that life is made of. But when you trade this for this, you believe that time is money. That is absolutely not true. The reality is that time is this is what that should look like. Time is infinitely greater than money. That's what it should look like. Time is infinitely greater than money. And when you realize that, you'll stop selling a whole bunch of your time for a little bit of somebody else's money. You'll stop traipsing around in discount locations looking for the best deal, wasting hours and hours of your life, wasting a whole bunch of time to save a little bit of money. What you'll do is you'll figure out, how can I make my time more valuable? And here's what wealthy creative entrepreneurs do. Instead of doing this diagram, here's what we do. We perceive with our eyes or our ears a problem in the marketplace. We say, oh, there's a problem. And then what we do is we come up with a solution. We solve the problem. I have an idea. So this light bulb represents my creativity. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a solution. But I'm not going to create a solution for me. I'm going to create a solution for you. I'm going to create a solution for all of you. I'm going to create a solution for the YouTubeosphere. And the more value that I bring to the marketplace, the more I'll be compensated. If I bring a lot of value to the marketplace is not going to gyp me. The marketplace is not going to cheat me. The marketplace is going to compensate me. And all I got to do is keep bringing value to the marketplace, and eventually some of the seed I sow will reap a harvest, period. That's how it works. Now, wealthy creative entrepreneurs are wealthy creative entrepreneurs because we pay for things according. Everybody say according. We pay for things according to our creativity. What does that mean? I don't pay for it with my creativity. I don't pay for it out of my creativity. If I paid for it out of my creativity or with my creativity, here's what would happen. I'd pay for it with my creativity, and I'd have less creativity after I paid for it than I had before I paid for it. But I don't pay for it out of my creativity. Because once I create a solution, I don't have less creativity. I have the same amount. Actually, I have more. Wow. So time is a depreciating, oops, that was an eraser. Okay, time is a depreciating asset, but creativity is a replenishing asset. This, by the way, how much does it replenish? It has infinite replenishing ability. That's so mind-blowing. And I have it. It's mine. It's not mine and not yours. It's mine and yours. Like, you've already solved so many problems in your life already. But somehow or another, the cultural hypnotic societal mechanism got you to believe that you don't have the ability to solve problems. I'm blown away. You're not smart enough. You're not good enough. You're not enough. Really? Hey, look in the rearview mirror of your experience of life and take inventory of all the things you couldn't do when you landed on this planet. You couldn't walk, you couldn't talk, you couldn't chew food. That's right, you didn't even have no teeth. You couldn't control your bodily functions. You couldn't drive a car, you couldn't use a phone, you couldn't use a computer, you couldn't count, you couldn't write, you couldn't read, you couldn't do anything. You couldn't play a musical instrument. You didn't even speak any languages, let alone 2 or 3. And now all of a sudden, you look at a rearview mirror experience of your life. You got all this stuff you know how to do, and you think there's something you can't learn? Oh, the enemy got you blind, babe. No, chow, please. There's not. Let your life be a testament that there's nothing you can't learn. Now, there may be some things you don't desire to learn. There may be some things you're not willing to learn. But that's not the same as the things you can't learn. I wish I had. Okay, y'all tracking. So, what happens is I create an asset. So, we're going to call that asset. I'm going to create an asset, and that asset, I'm going to call it a book. And it's got words on the page. Yeah, create a book. And then I'm going to sell that book. By the way, when I write this book, it's going to cost me about, I'm going to say $3 to make. Then I'm going to sell the book for somewhere between 20 and it could be, I have a friend, I'll just put his number there. I have a friend, I know you're going to think this is crazy, his name's Dana. He had a book that he sold on a webinar for $2,000. Let me ask you a question. How many of you have ever thought, if I wrote a book, how could I sell it for $2,000? How many of y'all have ever thought that? Right? Okay. Right. But have you ever thought, if I had a book? No. I would have never thought of that until I saw Dana do it. He did a webinar, and he sold hundreds and hundreds of people this book for $2,000. You know what it's called? The book was called High Ticket Book Secrets. How to Sell Books for $2,000. But you know what he did? When they bought the book, he didn't just give them the book. He also gave them bonuses. He gave them training. He gave them other stuff that was worth more than the $2,000. So here's the question. What bonuses can you add to the offers that you create that will make the offer that you've created more valuable? Could you give people access to a members portal on a website? Could you give people access to a community? Could you, like what else could you show them? What else could you add to it? So, I think y'all are tracking. I think y'all tracking? Okay, y'all tracking. Okay, so then people are going to give me money in exchange for that offer. So I'm greater than the book. I'm not the book. You're not going to read my book and think that book is me. You're going to know that book was created by me. So if the book is created by me, I am greater than the book. I am greater. As the resource, I am greater than the assets I create. Does that make sense? Yes or yes? Okay. Then the asset is greater than the money. Because when I sell the asset, in fact, let me grab one here. I'm going to grab 2 of them here. I could grab 3 of them here. In fact, I'm going to grab all 4 of them here. I'm going to tell you all the story. So, back in 2006, I wrote this book. So here's what's cool. I'm not a graphic designer. But guess what? I didn't have to be. I created the concept I didn't create this cover, but I created the concept for this cover. It wasn't a good concept, but worked for me. So I wrote this book called The Ebony Treasure Map, The Roadmap to Riches for African Americans. I thought, you know what? We don't have a book for African Americans to teach us financial literacy, so I'm going to write one. And so I wrote The Ebony Treasure Map, The Roadmap to Riches for African Americans. And the book came out, and I said, I'm going to sell this 139 page book for $20. Guess what? Now, before I wrote, well, I won't even tell you that part because it doesn't matter. So, the first week this book came out, I got 500 copies printed because I went to a book writing conference, how to be a best-selling author conference, and they said most authors never sell 500 copies of their book. Well, I said, I ain't gonna be most authors. 500 copies printed, right? And so my book came out, had 500 copies printed. Guess what? We sold 900. 900 times $20. Anybody know how much that is? That's $18,000. My first week as a published author with a book with an ugly cover made $18,000.
That's right.
That's more than half as much as I've made in any year at any job I've ever had. A book, B-O-O-K, a book.
A book.
Paper, words on paper, black ink on white paper. Okay, y'all track. So I wrote that book in 2006. In 2000, don't miss this now. I realized, because all transformation begins with awareness, so I became aware of the fact, there are some people who are going to look at this book cover, this book title, The Ebony Treasure Map, The Roadmap to Riches for African Americans, and they're going to say, I ain't an African American. It probably won't work for me. Now, do I want to sell a few books or do I want to sell a lot of books? I want to sell a lot of books. So what I did was I changed the name. That's called repurposing and repackaging. In case you're wondering what the marketing term is, I changed the name of the Ebony Treasure Map to From the Trash Man to the Cash Man, How Anyone Can Get Rich Starting From Anywhere, added a couple pages, added some stuff to it, and now the book is more than 139 pages. It is 140, blah, 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 blah. It's 147 pages. So 147 page book, added some pages to it, changed some stuff around so nobody would feel like, this is not for me, right? So rebranded it, repackaged it, repurposed it, and turned it into the Trash Man.
Yep.
Between these two books, we've sold over 175,000
Write
copies
your book
of these books. I'm not bragging. What I'm telling you is a book is an asset that I create. It's one of many assets that I created.
Thank God I wrote my ebook.
And I was
getting ready to rewrite it though. Gotta rewrite it.
I was selling a home study course for $497. Yeah. Yes, on cassette tapes. Don't forget the cassette tapes part. And then
cassettes, now DVD.
I'm like, a book? Why would I write a book? $20? I'm making $497, right? Every time I make a sale, what a $20 book. What I didn't realize is that if I wrote a book and it was good, the people who bought the book would also buy other stuff.
Right.
So I used to think a book was a waste of time because it's only going to make you $20. But it's not about how much money the book makes you.
They buy other
stuff. It's about the time someone invests in reading the book that you wrote that makes them feel like they know you.
Yep. Go read my book, guys. Go read my book. My book is in my bio.
Those two assets. Boom.
My book is in my bio. Go read my book. Go purchase my book. Support the mission. And help me help you to also write your own book. Okay? Let's start with an ebook. All right? So I've done it because I've listened to speaker like this great man here that encourages to make and write our own book, that encourages us to do something different. Okay? I've encouraged so many people to take the offer to write their book, and they haven't done it. And I'm like, okay, if you don't want to write your book, why don't you support me by purchasing the book? If you purchase the book, you'll be able to understand the blueprint. You're not purchasing a book about me. You're purchasing a book about a about the blueprint how to grow on social media, how to grow your social media account, and how to grow on social media, period. That is the blueprint. I'm selling a blueprint, guys, not me, not the book, really. It's more knowledge than what you have. Like Dr. Marion says, I'm more knowledgeable than the book because I created the book. Okay? So, anyhow, this is about what will you do in 2026. Are you guys going to be doom scrolling? Are you guys just going to sit back and wait for things to happen? Right now, you guys don't even know there's war in Africa. You guys are in Nigeria. There's war there. Pretty soon there'll be an American base that is going to control more of your resources there. And next thing, there will be war in Africa. A lot of you guys don't even know what's going on in your own part of the world. Okay? Where things might change. 2026, a lot of things going to happen. A lot of things. I saw a few videos from Abraham Traore, and he's talking about there's dark winter coming. There will be a lot of things happening on the continent. A lot of things happen on the continent because I don't know, black people just don't get it. Black people just don't get it. So God has to allow certain things to happen in order for a little bit of black people to wake up. And when I see that you have to be constantly fighting for sovereignty, you constantly have to be fighting to just get out of poverty while people in other parts of the world can be living in big lavish lifestyle. You will just have them and the dog and they're in a 20-story house. They're in mansions. They have so much money that they would not even give you the smell of the money. Okay? And they would actually have a network of other people who would go to a poor country and plumage it. What kind of heart does these people have? And black people would think that these people are God. When I tell you black people is so stupid, some of us are so dumber than dumb. We would never support each other. We would support another group or another race of people who we think are gods. And they are the most evil people on the planet. When I tell you that we are like an ostrich, buried our faces in the sand. Another group of people will come to your country while the president is off vacationing in Europe, while another country come to your land and raging war, dropping bombs. Oh my God. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't know if I'm the only one that see. And you know what people are making videos about? Why black Americans don't like this? Why Jamaicans don't like this? What the hell is going on in your country? You all need to make videos about what the hell is happening in my country. Why are we at war against each other? Black people warring against each other in a predominantly black nation because another group of nation come in and say you are unaliving Christians. What the hell is happening in the world? Now, President Abraham Traore had to be making videos saying there is black winter coming. There will be such a situation in Africa in 2026. our head is going to be spinning, while some of you are just scrolling here on TikTok without a clue. We are here in America and know more about your country, what is happening in your country, because France will not leave Africa alone. Let me say this again. France will never leave Africa alone because they have to live in their rich lifestyle while Africa is in darkness. While Africa have no toilet, no running water, and the people have been suffering. You see young boys running in the street for 2 pennies with no mind of their own. No mind. When I saw TikTok King over there, TikTok King trying to give away some stuff, people are running. Same thing with the hurricane in Jamaica. You see people are running down the truck, little girls scaling the truck because of poverty. And you will try to explain this to these guys. If you buy data and you scroll on TikTok, make sure you learn something. Find the room that is going to teach you something so you can have a skill. If you on TikTok or any platform, you are already a journalist. You need to know how to use that phone in your hand like it's the best camera from the Queen, because some of you guys worship the Queen. Yeah. So I hope you guys go purchase my ebook, because when you purchase my ebook, you are helping me and you're helping yourself. So thank God I started my TikTok channel, and I've been going ever since August. I've been going, and I could have gotten to 4K, but it's because of selfish people on this app. They don't want to subscribe to, they don't want to follow people that are teaching them substance. You want to go to a room where they're going to tell you and give you a whole bunch of get rich quick scheme, and you're going to think you're going to implement it. You cannot implement get rich quick. Okay? That's other people's system. If you buy into that scheme, you are finished. Okay? As the coach, Dr. Marin, was saying, learn to promote offers. Learn to go promote somebody else. That's why TikTok is a training ground. You learn here to promote, and you go to your local market and you become an affiliate. If you got 2,000 followers, 3,000 followers, you should already be promoting other people's things. Stop staying in your house and having aimless battles for nothing. I had to tell one of my followers yesterday, Colin. He's like, Miss Bailey, I did what you said I should do. Don't bring people up in the battle. And nobody was coming into my room. And I'm like, who cares? Those people are coming to your room giving you 5 cents. Is that what you're worth? As a chef, you are worth 5 cents? Are you kidding me? I said those people are preventing you from teaching. They are the ones that holding you back because you bring people in your room. They don't know anything. And you guys are just a bunch of chicken heads. So you're not teaching them. You just telling them, come in, come in, come in, come in. And they pitch in the box. and you are not teaching them anything.